Ooh, that lighting is harsh. Whew. That is rough stuff. You're going to need to turn that off. Hello, we're on with our fantastic Instagram live series, Jess the Chat, and we have beautiful, lovely, and fantastic Lexi Church joining us. So, Lexi, I see you there, girl. Look at you. You were worried you weren't going to be able to get it. You got it. I'm giving Lexi an homage to her signature look. I'm giving you an homage. I'm giving you a little side part. Giving you my gray hair and everything.
And I don't know what this other generation is talking about.
I can't hear you.
Wait,
Hold on, you gotta speak up.
can you hear me?
Barely. Hold on. Oh. Can you?
Can y'all?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
That's so weird. All right, hold on. Let me make this louder because it's never going. I hear you. I'm gonna jump off and come. Wait. Do that noise again. I heard a noise. There you
I'm
are.
taking my cover off my phone.
I got you. Okay, I can hear you nice and well.
Bear with me. I'm taking my cover off my phone.
Oh, that's fine. That's so much better.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you great. So,
Okay.
I was really considering whether I should like break open the wine because I know you're wine about homes, and I was like, it's 11 o'clock, but it's not 11 o'clock everywhere. So, Lexi, thanks for coming on. You and I don't actually know each other. I just follow you on Instagram, and I think you're amazing. And I wanted to just bring you on because I feel like you've got a really great platform, and you're very genuine. And I've been trying to find people that are just kind of like really and truly themselves online, uninhibited. And thank you for joining.
Yeah, no problem. I love you too. You're great.
Aw, thanks. So tell us a little bit about where you are and what kind of real estate you practice.
So I'm in Hampton Roads, that consists of like the 7 cities, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, like that whole area. And I do a lot of resales, new construction. I work a lot with sellers and first-time home buyers, military, things like that. We have the largest Navy base here in Norfolk in North America. So a lot of military come through here and I work with them.
Okay. When did you start real estate?
I've been licensed for almost 3 years, but I've been in the industry for about 6. I used to do marketing and also assisting other agents through, just transactions and things like that. And I decided that I wanted to get licensed myself back in 2018. So.
Okay. And so you are obviously like a mom, a realtor. You just had this little beautiful baby munchkin boy who I just so grateful every time you share his facial expressions on the stories. So tell us about what it was like being pregnant during COVID and practicing real estate. Like that's the trifecta of stress.
Oh my gosh. So this is my 3rd child and I'm done. It's 3 and done. And I have 3 boys, and it was a lot. So I got pregnant at like the start, like in February, that's when I became pregnant. And then like March, that's when COVID hit, everything was shut down. And also like this pregnancy almost like took me out. I was super sick. And that was a whole thing in itself, just trying to just deal with me just being sick in the beginning of pregnancy. And also we're now having to like homeschool kids, and I have a 13-year-old and another son that's about to be 4. So yeah, he's doing virtual learning, the 13-year-old. The 4-year-old is at a private daycare, preschool, so he's going in person, but it's crazy. And I just wanted to keep my momentum going. So I just tried to keep it up as much as possible.
Yeah. I remember
when
I got pregnant with my first, I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to work. I don't know what it's going to be like in real estate. I'm going to have to work like a lunatic. And I swear to God, this is a true story. I was giving birth to my daughter and I was in between contractions and I was like, give me my phone. I've got a double deal. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go back to work. And the doctor was like, you're nuts. And I'm like, yeah, well, you got a paycheck. I might not. Okay, give me the phone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And like in between contractions, I was negotiating a double transaction. I mean, you got to work, right? Like,
You got to work.
Understand.
You got to work. I brought my computer with me and they were like, what? Like, you're sending us houses? I'm like, listen, like the market's crazy. Yeah. We can go see them.
Well, to that point, what do you think is like the biggest misconception or, you know, biggest, I guess misconception is the right word, about real estate, the real estate industry from the buyer's perspective and from the seller's perspective?
From the buyer's perspective, HGTV. Okay.
Church.
I feel like
Church.
I feel like they make our jobs considerably harder. Yeah. So basically you watch HGTV, they go out, they see these, you know, few properties. It's an easy day. Yeah. And it's all available. And then they just pick one. And then they show how they negotiated for lower, you know, and it works every single time. Yeah. So especially in this market, with it being a seller's market, I think that it just hinders them even more, because now they're getting more discouraged because it's hard. It's an uphill battle, but it's just about the common misconception is that they think it's going to be a lot easier in terms of the process. They're going to go out, their house is going to be out there, they're going to put in an offer, and then boom, it's an easy day. But there are certain things that need to go into that. Like, you have to have your expectations set. You have to know that you're probably going to have to compromise on some things. Yes. Unless you have somebody out there that is building exactly what you want, you're not going to find a perfect house. So it's about crossing off and checking off as many boxes as you possibly can, but understanding that there might be something that you have to live with. There's
needs, there's wants, and then there's like best case scenario. And then, you know, like, you know, you're going to have, I always like tell like the people that I'm running with, okay, you tell me what you think your top 5 needs are. And then after our first set of showings, I'm going to tell you what your top 5 needs are. Because it's usually going to be different. Yes. Everybody's like, I need a 3-car garage. I'm like, you have 1 car. Why do you need a 3-car garage? Like, help me understand the thinking here. Well, because I'll get more cars. I said, why don't we find you a house that has enough bedrooms?
Let's get a house first. Yeah, I always ask them. I'm like, they'll tell me their needs and wants. And I'm like, okay, cool. Run me through your day. Like, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and like what you do. And I'm like, okay, well, it sounds like you need A, B, and C. And they're like, oh, you know what? That would be really cool. Yeah. So, yeah.
I feel like being a realtor is almost like just being a life coach and a therapist that gets access to houses we don't live in.
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's exactly it. We're mediators. We're like everything in between, and then we find you the house.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned that you service, you're an MRP. So you want to tell everybody what that is?
So MRP, it's a certification through the National Association of Realtors for a military relocation professional. And what that means is that I am extremely knowledgeable in like the VA loan, the process of what it means to go through a PCS, and that's a permanent change of station. I've been through my own set of PCSs before. I'm a Navy brat. My dad was in the Navy. And also I used to be married to an airman, a person in the Air Force. So I've been on both sides as a child and also as a spouse in the military. And the reason I got the MRP is because they don't teach about the VA loan or home buying for military on the installations, like at all. My dad, he bought his first house when he retired, thinking he could only use it like once. Like, he was in his late 40s when he bought his first house, because he thought that he had to wait. So,
you know what? It's funny because this is organically bringing us to like one of my questions that I feel like there is a lot of lack of real estate pertinent information out there. There's a lack of education, I think, countrywide when it comes to the importance of credit. And what you screw up now stays with you for 10 years, you know? So like, I feel like I'm always like, I had like met with other like business owners. We were doing like a video series, meeting with other business owners. And that was the one thing that was just always ringing true, was I wish I knew about credit. I wish I knew about credit health. And what would you say, you think is the biggest issue where people are coming to the table with the wrong information? I know you have a video, so I'm going to like push you towards this one about down payment and credit scores.
Okay. Credit Karma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody's like, oh, Credit Karma, like my credit score went up. So a lot of people don't know the difference between the scores that they're showing and like a FICO score. So that's a huge gap in education there.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one? You said credit scores and like down payments.
And you had talked, and I remember you did like a fun dance video with down payments.
Yes.
And you're like, you don't need 20%.
Everybody, I just met with somebody last week, and I'm like, I did a video. Like, did you not see the video? You don't need 20%.
I was trending. Did you not get my mortgage tip? Hello.
Are you not on TikTok? But yeah, everybody thinks that you need like a 700, 800 credit score, or that you need to put down 20%, like give your firstborn for a down payment. And there's tons of programs where there's no down payment, like the first home buyer grants and things like that. And military, they have no down payment with the VA loan anyway. Mm-hmm. And you have like your average down payment is going to be between 3 and 5%. Mm-hmm. So when people say that, they're like, oh, okay. And some programs allow you to get a gift. So if you have somebody willing to help out and, you know, you're buying your first house and it's a present for you, you can use a gift. And so getting into a house is way easier than people think.
What would you want, like, any military person that will, like, watch this to know about their VA loan that you know they probably don't?
You can use it more than once. The VA loan is set up. Oh, this happens all the time. So the VA loan, even though you have eligibility, you still need to get a loan. You need a lender to use your VA loan. Everybody thinks that the VA is lending them money. That's a huge misconception. They're not. They're just backing the loan. So they're basically telling the banks and the lenders, hey, we're going to insure this to make sure if anything happens, we got y'all. So please lend the military person this money. It's fine. That's all that the VA loan is. That's what that does. So you still need your eligibility, which the lender can look up, and you still need to go to a bank or a lender to actually utilize the VA loan. That's probably the most asked question or misconception. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, like who'd you go through? I'm like, no, I'm military. I have my eligibility. Like, okay, we need a lender.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not how that works. That's Yelp. It's not the restaurant.
No.
Yeah. Let's see. So what do you think is your go-to selling strategy or advertising strategy when you're listing a home now, as opposed to, you said you were licensed for the last 3 years? Mm-hmm. So from when you first started, or whoever trained you, to as who you are doing, like how you doing it now?
Okay. When I first started, everybody told me the best way to advertise was, you know, through the MLS, put it on Zillow, Trulia, all the, you know, the sites that people go to. And what I do now is I use a lot of social media. Mm-hmm. So I have networks, internal networks. I put it on my Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, you know, it's still going to go to those traditional, you know, home visiting sites that everybody likes to go to. We know Zillow's huge. We know homes.com is huge. So of course it's going to go on there, but I've sold more homes by going through social media than somebody seeing it off of a third party website. So
can you see the comments that are coming up or no? Morgan wrote, unrelated, these side parts are fire. Yes, I know.
Yes.
This is an honor of.
I can't see the comments. Okay.
That's really funny. So, okay, so on that same token, how much of your business or lead generation would you say comes from social media versus a traditional contact point?
Oh, I'd say 90%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like 80. The other 20, it's like people just are like, hey, like, here you go, like personal referral. but I don't go through traditional means at all to get leads. I'm working with 2 new people now who came on my Instagram, and they're like, hey, we've been following you for a while. You know, can you help me with this? I'm going through this situation. And I'm just allowing people an opportunity to ask me questions. It opens up dialogue, and then they know I can help them, and then I help them. I get a lot of people who watch my Wine About Home videos, and they'll contact me from there. So my angle is just about giving information. Even if people come to me and they're not ready for like a year or 2, I'd rather them know where they are so they can properly prepare, because a lot of people that come to you anyway, you know, they're not ready to buy at that exact moment. It's all about preparation. Yeah. So I love just giving info. And like I said, I get like 80 to 90% of all my business off of social media.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I feel like, you know, with my office, we're pretty like hyper local and like known for being like co-op specialists, and we sell people co-ops and then bring them into their house. I don't think you have co-ops in Virginia, right? There's
a couple. There's not a lot.
Yeah. So
it's like a hand count on one hand how many times I've dealt with it.
On like in a 10-block radius, there's 15 from my office. So like we have like crazy concentration co-ops over here. Yeah. So you know, like when I'm looking to try to help somebody in selling, I feel like it also depends on the audience, because sometimes with my older sellers, they're like, is this going on the MLS? Yes, going on the
They're MLS. Always the one to ask.
Yeah.
They're always the one to ask.
And then the younger ones are like, what kind of social media marketing are you going to be doing? Is this going to be on Zillow? Is this going to be on Trulia? And I'm always like telling people the A in Zillow stands for accuracy. There's no accuracy in Zillow. Like you have.
I'm going to have to use that. That's good.
Yeah, it's the truth. Like the stuff's out of date. If the information is wrong, they don't differentiate between properties. And my favorite thing that I get is, well, my neighbor's estimate says, and I'm like, listen, girl, no one's going to spend an extra $100,000 on your house because you got a new carpet 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello. No. But you know what? Like, you've got to kind of like gently meet the client where they're at and like kind of tailor and make the information consumable to them. So who would you say is your most like popular trend of client? Do you deal with mostly like, what's your age range?
I would say between like 28 and 42. Okay. Like in the millennial age range. Yeah. And I'm probably guessing it's because of the outlet. You know, I'm on social media, so you're not going to find, you know, that's usually the audience that I deal with. Like I said, I'm giving a lot of information. They're listening to it. I have noticed though, the home buyers are getting younger.
Right?
Yeah, I had, and this is crazy, it's a true story. You know how they're not teaching like writing cursive in school anymore?
Yes, it's all.
I had my first client, they're like 20, 22, 23, super young, and they didn't know how to sign their name at closing. They were like, I was like, yeah, so your signature.
Do you have a DocuSign option?
And I was like, well, I don't know how to sign. And I was like, wait, no, you sign here. And she was like, well, they didn't teach it like in school. And I'm like, what? So that was my first client that I had that could not sign their name because that's how young they were. They had stopped teaching it already in school by then.
You just made me feel really old.
Now we're out here. We still know how to write. Like, I feel like it's a skill. Like you were signing actual documents. You should know how to sign your name. But
it kind of makes me feel like the Declaration of Independence. It's all like, yeah. But my signature like legit looks like I had a seizure. I'm just like, and it's
like a doctor. It's like a doctor signature.
100%. So one of my like favorite realtor to realtor videos, because I feel like there's a fine line, right? You put out information, but you don't want to be like negative towards a buyer or towards a seller, but there is a fine line. One of my favorite videos that you put out was the 4 things that you ask us as realtors that we're not allowed to answer video. I was like, yes.
I was like, I got to do it. I'm doing a video on it. It's
how do we tell you we can't answer any of those questions, but we're actually competent? Because I feel like sometimes the buyer's like, well, what do you mean you don't know this, that, and the other? And I'm like,
right?
I actually do, but like I can't say that I do.
I can't say that. Like I can't tell you.
What would you say is the most common question that you're asked as a realtor that you're not allowed to answer?
Is this neighborhood safe? I get asked all the time. Well, is this a safe area? Is this a safe area? What happens over here? Is this safe? And I'm just like,
safe is relative.
and so I'll be like, well, I tell people all the time, drive by at different times.
Yeah.
Like if you're concerned about the safety, drive by at night and see what the neighborhood's like. You can talk to neighbors, or you can just go and look at the crime maps online. Like it's 2021.
Yeah.
We know who's living down the street now. So
you
they
know,
need to look it up.
In New York, I feel like I don't get that question very often, just because
Really?
I feel like, yeah, that's not the question I get.
Uh-huh.
Like the question I always get is, how are the schools? And I'm like, they're in buildings and there's kids in them with adults that supervise those kids. That's it.
People go to it. People,
yeah.
class starts at 8.
They have activities that involve arts and crafts and sometimes sports. What do you mean, how are the schools?
I'm like, oof, it can get gray real quick. So I'm putting out a video and I'm let y'all know about fair housing and steering, and we'll be on the same page again.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Like I feel like, whenever I just like explain the fair housing form, I think it's I like, do a lot of self-deprecating humor and kind of stuff, but I will say like, listen, we don't care if you're black, white, gay, straight, purple. Is your money green and can you close? That's what we care about. Do you agree? Sign here. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't care who you are, what you do, and who you're married to. We just want to make sure you really get that magic number so we can close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your experience is this neighborhood safe? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I never get that. I feel like that's just, you know what? I think that's because people from New York just like don't
like whatever.
I don't even know. Like I wouldn't feel scared if you dropped me anywhere.
That's true.
We're just so mushy.
Do you deal with a lot of like locals?
Huh?
Like everybody that you deal with, they're like most people like from New York?
Yeah, a lot of people are from New York. When I'm dealing with like out-of-state people, it's usually because they've inherited something, but they're not coming back here as a buyer. They're reaching out to me to help themselves. So that never comes up. But like, I just never get asked that question. And I just think that that's something that I feel like in New York, we're so blended and mixed together. Like nothing scares us. I mean, have you seen what's happened in the last 10 years in New York?
It's crazy.
We've gone through a lot, and we're just like, oh, okay. The building has a gas leak. All right, I got to get upstairs. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Okay, so let's see. We talked about what is your favorite platform for real estate? Because again, there's a very fine line when targeting buyers and sellers versus like just creating community with other realtors. So is there one that's better for other? Go.
I love Instagram.
Okay.
I've always been a big fan of Instagram. I'm really active on Facebook too, but Instagram's like my heart. I love Instagram. Just recently got on TikTok. LinkedIn, I'm trying to utilize that to establish more realtor to realtor connections, which has been really good lately. And I've just joined on, what's that? Was it
Clubhouse? I was going to ask you about Clubhouse. Yeah.
Yep. I just joined Clubhouse not too long ago, and I went on and I'm like, it's a lot going on, but it's cool. It's a really cool platform. Yeah. But yeah, Instagram is my heart, my number one.
Yeah. You know, like it's funny. I feel like TikTok is almost like a safe space. Like you can be silly, a little raunchy, like maybe throw an expletive here and there without prejudice and judgment. Where Instagram, I feel like, is just like just a syndicate platform for Facebook. So there's people that prefer Facebook, usually a little bit older, and people that are, millennial age usually prefer Instagram. And the people that are on TikTok don't really care about either.
Yeah.
So it's like, you want to be funny, you can go be really like ridiculous on TikTok. And
it can get out of pocket. You can be out of pocket on TikTok and nobody cares. That's why like if you follow me on TikTok, you'll notice not all of my videos are And
Yeah.
Instagram, I'll bring over like some of them, like, okay, that's good. Instagram's bougie. I'm gonna bring this over to Instagram and I'll keep this other stuff on TikTok.
You know, it's funny because I was like joking around. I was talking to my social media guy in the office and I was like, you know, I really want to do like the Bus It challenge, but the real estate version. He's like,
Right?
if you do that, leave it on TikTok. And I was like, but I mean, that can like, he's like, leave it on TikTok.
You can make it real estate. So one of my friends, my title girls, she was like, okay, there's two things you can do. Either A, like, because I have kids, you can be like in with all the toys, then you can like bust it down with your laptop or something. And then we were thinking about doing it in the settlement office on closing.
I just feel like I've been known to get carried away and I've got to own that about myself.
I mean, do you? So
yeah, you know, I did a WAP video, which was wealthy best properties, and that got me in a little bit of hot water. So I've had to like, you know,
I gotta look at that.
It got me in trouble. I thought it was genius, but it got me a little bit of trouble. But you know,
don't let you live.
Yeah, they won't let me live. But you know what? The people that love me are gonna love me, and the people that are not gonna like me, I'm not gonna change their mind.
No,
and I'm just embracing that.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is your goal for like looking back 10 years from now and saying, you know what, I reached a level of success that I was really striving for? Star PR was in that WAP video, and that's why she just threw up all those emoji faces. So, all right, so go ahead. I'll send it to you.
I was about to say, like, can you send me this video, please?
You just can't post it. I'll get in trouble.
I'm all for living your life. Live your life. People, live your life. But, gosh, 10 years ago.
No, 10 years from now.
10 years from now. Okay, I was like, 10 years ago, I didn't think I would be a realtor, to be honest.
Okay, before you answer that, what did you think you were going to be?
I went to school for psychology. So which I mean, obviously we still use.
Me too.
Yeah, I went to school for psychology, got my bachelor's, was getting my master's in industrial and organizational psych, and then I ended up working in marketing and then going into real estate. So yeah, all of it's intertwined though. Marketing is a transfer of emotions. And we deal with a whole bunch of things in real estate. But 10 years from now, I want to have my own brokerage. So that is something I'm striving towards. This year, I'm working on like building teams and things like that. But I also want to I don't want to be on the field forever. Like, it's just for, all the trips that I want to do and all the family time I want to have, it's just not feasible. Being on the field out here, showing tons of houses, selling all these houses, doing all this stuff. So eventually I'm going to want to really rely on like my investment properties that I'm going to have, lots of Airbnbs, short-term, long-term houses, things like that. And so that's the plan. Then I'll have a brokerage and that'll be cool.
Are you investing now?
I'm starting to. So yeah, I'm looking at some duplexes. I'm trying to decide between like duplexes or like, a really nice space by the beach that I can do at Airbnb. I think Airbnb is where it's at.
I think Airbnb is where it's at because I feel like there's been a reconditioning of Americans to vacation domestically because of like fear of health issues, all that stuff. Like I know like every time, and I also kind of feel like, again, in New York, you people are super judgy. And, I feel like there's almost like travel shaming going on. It's like, oh, you went to Florida. That's nice for you. You've contaminated the block. And I'm like, I didn't go. I didn't see anybody. I drove in my car. I came back. I just put my toes in the sand, and that was it.
That's it.
And it's just like a little bit of, it's a little bit of travel shaming. But I think that as we kind of get like this vaccine rolling, there's a permanent migration of people that left New York, and like the permanent wealth of New York is going to other parts of the country. And I feel like it's going to really revitalize, maybe, I don't want to say sleepy because that's condescending, but maybe slower paced towns. And it's going to just be like this redistribution almost of wealth throughout the country because people are just flocking to other states.
They really are. I heard New Jersey. I heard a lot of New Yorkers are going to New Jersey to get some of those properties.
a lot of Manhattan went to Connecticut.
Oh,
like,
what?
Yeah, like Connecticut was like the new it girl on the block for a while. There was no properties for sale. And then a lot of people came to the island, Long Island, if you don't know, if you're watching from out of state. But I've had so many people go to North Carolina and Florida.
Yeah.
Those are like
North
the
Carolina's
two
huge.
mass exoduses that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Virginia, you actually posted something up the other day because for me, I was like, I want to buy an out-of-state investment. So what would you tell an out-of-state investor besides calling you? Because duh, who the hell else are you going to call? What would you tell us things to know? Because I know in New York we have some issues with certain buildings not allowing Airbnbs. Do you have any state regulations on Airbnbs or things to be on the lookout for when investing in your area?
They were kind of getting a little tight as far as the regulations go, but I've heard through the grapevine that those are kind of loosening up a bit, maybe for the same reasons in New York. But as far as somebody wanting to come over here, I think it's a great idea, only because we have so much, like it's a continuing revolving door with the military. So the opportunity to have an investment property here, it's why they go so fast, it's amazing. So you'll have, a military personnel PCS in here, and that if you can get a military person in your, there we go, I fell. As if you can get a military person in your investment property, that it's going to be leased for at least 2 to 3 years. Like, that. And then they leave and you can get it set back up. Like it's great. It's a great opportunity here.
And housing stipends pay for those things because it's, it's called BAH, right? BAH is a housing stipend for military that are going to live off base. So that's like, besides having fabulous members of service staying in your investment property, you're also never going to have to be concerned about rent getting paid on time.
You get paid on time. They usually take care of their properties. It's great. So that and college students, but you're not going to get the taken care of part by the college students.
Probably not. I don't think that anyone would dispute that or be offended by it.
Nah.
Let's get to the most important question I need to ask you.
Okay.
Red or white?
Well, I just redid my branding. It was red, but I would have said red, but I like white. I like white a lot.
I don't know which video it was, but you were like pouring the. I honestly feel like you're somebody I've hung out with.
Oh wait, you're talking about wine.
Yeah, wine. What did you think I was
talking about? Like colors.
No, red or white.
Okay, no, red all day then. Red all day. But
you were pouring a cup of wine, and it was like a pregnant pause of like gulp, 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 gulp. Okay, so we're here to talk. I'm like, that's my girl. She put like 3 servings of wine in that glass.
Okay, so like that's less trips. It's I know I'm going to refill, so let's just fill it up to what I'm a drink.
Yeah, smart. So red all day. And what's your favorite go-to red wine?
Oh, Cab Sauv by Menage a Trois.
I should have drank Menage a Trois Cab Sauv during the WAP video. Really double down. Really double down.
I mean, if you're gonna go all day. Yeah. Like lately, I've been drinking a lot of rosé. But
that's me, rosé all day. Like rosé and like a
love
nice
rosé.
Crisp white.
Yes.
On a hot day, it's a little sweet. That's my jam. You know, it's crazy. Like I used to love red wine, but then like I don't know, like I woke up on a Tuesday and my body was like, "You're allergic," and like I would be like clawing at myself. So I had to stop drinking red wine. So if I drink too much rosé, because rosé is from red grapes, I start to get that like little.
Like the flush?
Yeah. Listings with Lakita said, that's a good wine. Okay, so now I'm going to have to try it.
You have to try it. Okay. There we go.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll take a picture drinking it, and then I'll tag you in it.
Okay.
All right, so have you participated in anything in Clubhouse or?
I have not. I'm going to just be real with y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Okay.
So I've been invited to participate, and so I like freaked out because I had the baby, and I was like, oh my gosh, can I hear the baby? And I just like left.
Okay, so yes, they can hear the baby, but you can mute it, so they won't hear the baby.
Okay, because I couldn't find the mute button, and so I saw the little peace sign. I was like, I'm out. So
leave quietly.
I was like, I'm gonna leave quietly.
Yeah.
So I need to be on there because I set notifications up, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And a lot of the agents that I follow are on there, and I'm like, man, like, okay, I gotta just head down, get on Clubhouse.
I have to tell you, it's great. It's something where you can just kind of drop in downtime and just listen to like information and like, you know, realtors on TikTok, realtors branding, realtors on YouTube, realtors on whatever. So like I'm always like looking for the YouTube page because I have like a YouTube page and I'm trying to get her up and running. She's crawling, but I want her to stand and take her first steps.
My YouTube page is crawling too. Same girl, same.
I'll follow you. You subscribe to me, I'll subscribe to you.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you would like to mention or you would like to plug besides, I'm a little bummed out that you didn't wear that shirt that we talked about.
Wait, what shirt?
The one I used, you're like, I love this shirt.
Oh, tell me why I had that shirt on, but now I'm wearing like realtor vibes.
Oh, I love it. Where do you get your shirts? Do you make them?
Girl, no, Etsy.
You need to start an e-commerce business, girl.
I love Etsy because I'm like, okay, somebody can't go into the store and get them, and everybody's coming up with all these like different ideas, and so I just go on Etsy and I'm like, oh, I like that shirt. Oh, I like that. Yeah. So
Amanda, who I interviewed last week, she's got a design for agents page, and she has buy, sell, invest.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so she's got really cute like apparel on there. And she had a bathing suit and she was rocking that shit in the summer. And I was like, you never turned the business off. So it was
I'm going to Mexico in May, so let me hit that up.
Yeah. And then also Homemade Studios. So it's kind of funny because her last name is Ho. But so it's home. Like homemade. So it's Homemade Studios. She's got an Etsy shop and she'll do anything on there. That's all right. Maybe let me ask you one more thing. Are you giving out closing gifts and what are they?
Oh, absolutely. I do the most with my closing gifts. People talk about me all the time. So I don't know if it's the whole psychology thing, but I'd be listening. Like I'd be listening the whole process, and I take little tidbits, and I'm on Etsy, and I'm getting this. Like I don't even know if my client's listening in, but they like knitting, and they keep making these jokes about how they're these old women and they're knitting. So I found all this super cool like knitting stuff, and I'll go in the basket. The only 2 questions I ask my clients is, do you like to drink? What do you like to drink? And what snacks do you have? Like that's it. That's probably the consistent thing I have in all my baskets. If they have kids, your kids are getting a basket. If you have pets, your pets are getting a basket. Everybody gets baskets. I just, my other clients, they had a dog. They had 2 rescues. And I had this bone-shaped basket with all these toys and stuff in there for the dog. So, I like doing closing gifts.
What's your closing gift budget? If you don't mind me asking, is it like $100, $50? Is it, do you do it by the selling price?
No, I try to stay between 50 and 100.
Okay.
And that's because I like doing a lot of TJ Maxx shopping.
Okay.
So I love me some TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx Home Goods, where you get that like really ridiculous, like who would buy this candle for $84, but now it's $8?
Thank you. And so your basket look fancy. Yeah. But I'm paying TJ Maxx price.
You're welcome. There was your broker tip.
If it's a high price point, or if my client has sent me like referrals and everything, and I'm personally helping them, then I'll also like add something like personalized or something like that from, like the wood shops, like for their coffee, or just recently I got a watermark picture drawn of their house and framed. So they had that in addition, like with the basket. So I'll add stuff onto it if it's like a higher price point, or if they've actually done things to support my business. So,
Well, if you're interested in getting more content like this, you can make sure to follow Miss Lexi on all of her social media. So plug them so I don't say them wrong.
Yes. Let me. Oh. Y'all hear my 13-year-old in the back?
No, I just waiting to see the baby.
Oh, My husband has the baby.
All
right.
Oh, we'll bring your 13-year-old on.
He is being 13. So
that is so amazing. He's doing VR, he's living his life.
He's living his life.
Yeah. Is he in school full time or it's virtual?
Virtual. All virtual.
Oof. Oof. And do you want to put the TikTok in there?
Yeah, I'm about to put TikTok.
And just remember, TikTok is for the spicy content.
Okay, it's spicy.
If you are sensitive or below a PG-13 rating, don't go onto the TikTok.
Yeah, there's some language on the TikTok. Language on TikTok. I'm like, ooh, Lord. I put that, I don't know if you saw it, but the one where I was like 9 to 5 ain't for me. And I was doing the voiceover.
No, I didn't.
I put it on my story because I'm like, it'll be gone in 24 hours.
So it can only do limited amount of damage.
Only a limited amount of damage. But I got a lot of, people loved it. So I don't know. I'll send it to you.
There's just always like the random stuff that's like picks up. It's like you think you're doing, like I know, like I did something. I'm like, this is just gonna take off. It's amazing. It's like Oscar worthy, and it gets like 8 views. And then I do something where like I don't have makeup on, and I'm like, you know, like in a frumpy sweater. Half of the time, don't even have a bra on. I have maybe a sports bra if you're lucky, and it's like 1,000 views, and I'm like, God damn it.
People love the raw.
Yeah.
People love the raw.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Make sure you
follow the YouTube channel. I'm gonna go over and search yours. Do you want to put your baby infant YouTube channel on there? And I appreciate your consistent branding across your social media platforms.
I try to make it really easy to search me.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, that is the YouTube. It's Lexi Church Real Estate. You're gonna find me.
Okay.
And my website is lexichurch.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have enough subscribers yet on YouTube to have my own. You know how they have like youtube.com/name? You need at least like 25 subscribers or 100 and something subscribers to have that. And my little baby channel.
Well, you're about to get 2 new subscribers.
There we go.
One is my daughter, Sabrina and RJ's awesome kid videos. And then Jessica Moves You at YouTube. So you just got yourself 2 more subscribers.
There we go. Thank you.
Listen, go on
baby page.
Yeah, go on to Clubhouse. People are really good. If you jump on like platform and you're just you share like an authentic experience or something, people are really good about like returning the sub favor.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try this week.
I'm gonna invite you to a room, girl.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so if I ever make my way down to Virginia or you ever make your way up to New York, we will meet up and we will also broadcast live because you're pretty awesome. So am I. Thank you for watching. In the comment section is all of Lexi's information. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in New York, reach out to me. In Virginia, reach out to Lexi. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.
Bye.